sister. But moving right along, this is a crazy one right here. I wanted to, this came on my news feed, family. So I was like, let me talk about this. This is a crazy one right here. This is a case of I'm white, not say so, if I've ever seen one. Here we have it, a black school bus driver, and all of the parents say she's a pretty good school bus driver. She gets fired, and you never guess what she got fired for, family. She gets fired for, fist pumping the kids, and that's a bunch of nonsense. You know what I mean? Now that school bus company is saying that it wasn't a part of the protocol or how they do things and things like that. But you could bet your last damn dollar that if it was a white person, fist pumping, every kid on the bus and recording it and putting it on social media. I guess they saying they didn't want it on social media or some bogus claim they gave, to practice white supremacy and say I'm white and I say so. But if it was a white school bus driver, fist pumping kids and putting it on social media, they wouldn't have been fired. This sister was a good bus driver. All the parents loved her. She did good at her job, and she even liked at her job. She said she really took, to heart her job and, loved every one of them kids. And they fired this sister for putting it on, social media, fist pumping, whatever bogus narrative they gave to practice white supremacy. But you could bet your last damn dollar that they wouldn't have did that if that sister was, white. But I got the audio and the video of this nonsense of, this sister, being fired from her job as a school bus driver for absolutely nothing at all. This is 100% race-based, if you ask me.
Bus driver says she was forced to resign from her position after filming what she and parents call a harmless, fun video of her interacting with her bus drivers. Our Markeisha Jackson has more.
Jessica Flowers says
this type of BS really gets me mad because I know if it was a Brad or Becky, they wouldn't have been fired for, fist pumping, children and playing with the kids and, putting it on social media. This was done because our sister was black.
she loved her job as a bus driver and had begun to love the relationships she built with the students, relationships that have been cut short. This is Jessica Flowers, a mother herself. She says she's always had a heart for helping the youth. She previously worked in childcare before deciding.
And you don't need to fire people, that want to work around the youth and that are good, especially around our black youth. We should have more people like that in the school district and, running buses, and in these particular industries, revolving around kids. We need to push the damn white supremacists out and have more people like this sister in there, but in a white supremacist system, they don't want that going down. You know what I mean?
She wanted a career change.
I did everything that I needed to do to, become a Chesapeake public school bus driver.
One of her routes picked up Tara Marks' middle schooler. She says when Jessica became the bus driver, it was a welcome change.
It was a breath of fresh air. It was night and day.
She says that's all thanks to...
This sister said the bus driver was a breath of fresh air, so they most likely had other bus drivers in there that didn't give a damn, dropping the kids off late, didn't care, just were there for a paycheck. And this sister really valued her job. You don't let a person like that go. You're supposed to be, giving this kind of a person a raise and wanting to, keep them in that position. You know what I mean?
Jessica going above and beyond in her role, something they haven't had in the past.
Chesapeake City Schools have had a challenge with having consistency with bus drivers.
But Jessica brought relief and established a great rapport with the children. She says she strives to make every child feel special when they stepped on her bus.
So I decided to.
And I for damn sure believe our sister tried to make every child feel special because black women, they got that mothering, nurturing aspect to them to where though they want to take care and nurture everybody, especially the youth, So this sister was, just doing her job and just being that loving black woman, you know what I mean? And she ain't do not a damn thing wrong. The thing was that, the racist white supremacists didn't like that because, like I said, you could bet your last damn dollar that if that was Bob or Becky, that for sure as hell wouldn't happen. They would have still been, having their job and, operating as normal protocol. This was done because our sister was black.
to do a handshake.
She and each student came up with a different handshake, and last week, with parents' permission, she decided to record this video and post it on social media.
In this day and age, you know, you see those types of videos go viral and you see the love and the dedication.
Chesapeake Schools did not see it that way. Flowers says the school division
She's just showing love to the kids. She ain't doing not a damn thing wrong. These days, you see, unfortunate news of people harming kids that are supposed to be in, roles of leadership like school bus drivers, teachers, a bunch of nonsense, and practicing anti-black racism. This, sister was just, showing love and, care, nurturing to the kids, and, they let her go. That's a bunch of nonsense. This sister needs to, seek out good legal representation because she got a hefty lawsuit on her hands. Because if you ask me, she was let go for not a damn thing. If the role was reversed and that was a white person, that wouldn't have happened.
told her she violated a zero-tolerance social media policy that she says she wasn't even aware of, and she was told she could resign or get fired. Chesapeake Public Schools wouldn't explain the policy to us, citing personnel matters.
Policies are very important, but so is common sense.
The white supremacists don't follow no damn policies. They make and break rules as they please. They make them to fit their discretion. You know what I mean?
And compassion.
Both are hopeful this can lead to a policy change. Markeisha Jackson, 10 on your side.
Former
Yeah, that's a case of I might not say so, but hopefully that sister screws the pants off of that school bus company because she shouldn't have been fired. They should have been trying to keep her, as a long-standing employee. She should be given raises. These are the kind of people you want working, around kids.